child experience for you. Okay. I'm still holding on. I'm still holding on to his hand. Yeah. Said it wouldn't be easy. That's the song that's coming through. Come on in. Said I wouldn't be here today. Good morning, good morning. Never said I never amount to anything. Yeah, listen. Though the road has been rough, discipline. Yes, indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. I know that there is no greater goal than love. Did you see it? 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 Listen, listen, listen. Good morning. Good morning. Listen. I woke up this morning and I felt the shift. It was so significant. Let me just talk to you. The shift was so real, so significant when I just rolled over and I just had to take the camera and just, right? As per usual, I always do that. I mean, I take pictures when I'm like getting up sometimes. And I did that this morning and I had a good grip on my phone, but it fell right on my mouth. I started to put that as the caption, but Spirit was just like, just go live. Just go live. Don't worry about all of that. Don't worry about what you're trying to do and how you're trying to prepare. I don't need you to prepare. Hit live and let me take it from there. That's the message, okay? Hit live and let me take it from there. So whoever this message is for, you're going to be present. That's just it. And it's that message. Said it wouldn't be easy. Said I wouldn't be here today. Said I never amount to anything. I woke up this morning and I felt the shift and I feel it for you. Listen. This message, what I also feel, you do not have to stay in a situation that you know is not favorable for you. You don't have to do that. You don't have to stay in a situation that you know is not beautiful for you because you're making excuses for why they're doing what they're doing to you. In any room, whether it's a business, whether it's a personal relationship, platonic or romantic, whatever it is, you don't have to stay put in a situation that doesn't feel good. You don't have to go where you are just tolerated and not appreciated anymore. And this morning, I feel like there's this shift, a shift that is so clear. This shift is so clear. Let me tell you something. Whatever you've been going through, you don't have to be quiet about it either. Because your mess up and or your tragedy is your product for prosperity. The idea of whatever it is that you've been through, that is because you have been called as a pioneer. And the journey of the pioneer is not easy. The journey of the pioneer it doesn't feel good. Not necessarily, it doesn't. Said it wouldn't be easy. Yeah. Said I wouldn't be here today. That's what I'm hearing for you. Said I never amount to anything. Come on now. Though the road has been rough. Yeah. And this climb has been mighty tough. Yeah, come on now. So that's where you are. That's the message. But Divine really was urging me today. Go live. Go live. And don't you worry about how you looking. You know, you want to get dressed, like, okay, let me get dressed. No. And this morning, I need you to get up, hit record, hit live, and let me do the rest. Hello, hello. Thank you. I just want you to go live and let me do the talking. So I have decreased and I'm allowing for the divine to speak through me as always because I choose to be guided. I want to welcome you to ICBG Intuitive Tarot and Things. I want to welcome you this beautiful Saturday morning or whenever you have caught this video. I want to welcome you here today. I want you to know, I need you to know that everything that you have been pushing forward for, that it is going to, everything is coming into fruition. At times it gets so dark, and it is dark. Not just it feels that way, it is dark, it gets dark. At times, that's what it is. And at times, it's supposed to be dark because it's a time for you to grow. Your mess up and or your tragedy is your product for prosperity. So it's supposed to be like that because that is what you are going to get your strength and pick up on. You get what I'm saying? That's what you're going to lift up on. That's what the Spirit is going to lift you up upon. Okay? So I want you to take this opportunity to celebrate every stepping stone that you've had to step upon. If you've had to walk through the valley of the shadow of death, because I'm telling you, I know you did because I bust my lip this morning. I've never done that. I was taking a picture of how I had to take a picture of the joy that I felt in my heart. It took me a moment to just take a picture. I got to take a picture of this. I rolled over and just shoot. And I had a good grip on the phone. Next thing I know, bam, right there on my mouth. Bust my lip. It bust my lip. And you know what I'm saying? God is so amazing. God is so good. God is absolutely awesome and mighty. And I am so grateful for what divine has done through you in your life. And no, you made a move. The Spirit say you made a move to step back. And that move that you made to step back was a divine choice. And you, because you have a beautiful heart. You're an empath. You have a beautiful, wonderful heart. Bless your heart. Most people who are pioneers, you do have a beautiful heart. You don't take the negativity and those things like most people do. You know why? Because you are chosen to be that pioneer. Some of you may not have known at one point, but then it just, the way your life has taken the turn that it's taken, and as a result of the results that you have actually realized along the way, you have to say, there is something different about me. There is something that is magnificent about me. There is something that is chosen about me. There is something that is pure about me because I still love. I still found a way to love. I still found a way to push through. I still found a way. So you know that it is something about you. And I'm here to tell you, baby. Oh, yeah. Said it wouldn't be easy. Yeah. Said I wouldn't be here today. Yeah. Said I never amount to anything. Come on now, because the road has been rough. So you have people that have been in the background, that have been in denial of you. They've been in the background denying that they see who they see. They say, I know it's something about them, but I refuse to accept that they are who they are. And you're so humble. You're not trying to prove it to nobody because you are focused. You know your loving, pure heart. You know who you are. I don't have anything to prove. That's what you're saying. I have nothing to prove. And this is what you've done. So when I was taking the picture of the joy on my face, when I was taking the picture, I literally opened my eyes, turned over, and I said, whoa, all of a sudden it seems like there was some clarity. And I know this is for you. I'm not alone. There was this clarity. I could see it again now. The vision of the fruition was there and clear and clairvoyant now. It was absolutely pure. It was absolutely pure. And that purity, I know, is your purity. That's what you're feeling. But then I was wounded. Oh boy, what came to me? The Spirit say, wounded for my transgressions. You walked through the valley of the shadow of death, and you chose to fear no evil. Divine walked you through it. Divine was guiding you through it. Get up. Act like you say who you say you are, who you know you are. I need you to walk through this. I need you to step up and do this when nobody else did, because you haven't had a fan base. You have not had a fan base, baby. But through blood, sweat, and tears, they want to shut your mouth. The entity energies. That's why it's important for you to understand that the move that you made to step away was divine. You're not crazy. Spirit says somebody listening walked away from a job and you really find it hard. You are wrestling with, did I do the right thing? Because you used to be one who would talk to get validation for what you have, what choices you were going to make. You were the one to make that decision. Let me call so-and-so. Let me find out what they're doing. Let me call so-and-so and see. You know what? I was just thinking, because I was sitting down and God told me to walk away. Girl, you know you crazy. You done lost your mind. Let me talk to ChatGPT. Chat. ChatGPT. So when God was telling you, I don't want you to step back into that room, and you don't have to step back into that room or any other room that was like it, right? Because what happens is, darling, as you allow yourself to submerge yourself in an environment that is unfavorable to your spirit, you don't realize the chiseling. It's like a person who's in jail, right? And the person in jail is chiseling to escape. The person wants to escape. So they're taking a piece by piece. They're chiseling. No one around even notices that they are chiseling for their escape. Then one day it is big enough for them to walk through. And this is what you have to understand, that when you stay into situations, baby, that you understand, you done forgave them, forgot it, understood why they're doing it, made an excuse for you to stay in it, okay? What you are doing and what it is doing, that energy that they are dealing with, it's not your business. The energy attachments that they are dealing with don't give a about you. So don't get it confused with the vessel that you're looking at. You understand? Because a lot of times they don't understand either. And their ignorance is not your business. Okay? That's not your business, baby. So what you have to understand, that when these things, these energies are chiseling at you, just taking a little piece at a time. So rather on the one side where the person is breaking out of jail, you're putting yourself, you're chiseling, allowing for the chisel to come at your mind. Now you are stepping into a mental jail. You're allowing for that just to break you down. Before you know, you forgot who you are. Before you know, you done woke up and said, You arguing with divine on who you are. You don't even want to hear it. You can't hear it. I don't want to hear it, because that's not what you believe about yourself for that moment anymore, because you've allowed for the one who had no value in you, had no appreciation for you, to just chisel. But you didn't know, baby. But I want you to know that what I felt this morning, as that I was bruised, blood. I wish I would have taken a picture of the amount of blood that was on my hand when I said, wait a minute, because at first I didn't see it. And that's what happens, you know, when something is significant, like you get a paper cut, you don't see it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, that hurt, that burned, right? I knew it hit me hard. I knew it hit me very hard, but I didn't see anything. And as I sat there and I'm taking my pictures, my mouth began to bleed across, and I put my hand and it was a whole lot of blood. See, you didn't even realize all of the blood, sweat, and tears that nobody knows. And you're not letting you don't care. God, I choose you no matter what. If you say go, I go. And there were times you had questions. God, I love you, but is this you? Are you speaking to me, or am I losing my mind? That's what you ask. But divine is saying that, yes, although you've been wounded along the way, you've been midstream, your joy has been attempted. And you know what? At some point, you did go down. But I tell anybody, if you are in a war or you're an officer on the streets and you are wearing a bulletproof vest, it may not penetrate. But what's going to happen is that it's going to throw you off. So you might end up falling. But you didn't die. I've fallen and I can't get up. You fell, but you didn't die. Yeah, it got you. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, but you didn't die. You feel me? Because you have a greater mission. You are chosen. Many are called, few are chosen. And it's no slight, because I asked Divine. Divine, why is there a difference? Why do you say many are called and few are chosen? You don't have respect of person. So why did you say that? And Divine said to me, because not everybody is a pioneer, baby. See, but you are a pioneer. You are chosen. God, I choose you no matter what. I know I'm not alone, but it's deeper than that. So as it is so for you to step away as you need to go into that secret place as you need to follow the divine call as you ought to not give up about what anybody thinks for sure, right? Not to put yourself in the room where you are tolerated, but where you are celebrated. And it may be for a while, for a long time, that you may not feel celebrated. And you're not seeking the celebration, but you know, and you can pick up the energy when you step into a room and the energy is off. And if you choose to about face and walk the hell up out of there, do so. Don't question your move. Divine is going to take care of you. The one who walked away from that job, I need you to understand that divine is going to take care of you. Don't worry about, listen. Don't you dare worry about how. I know for sure, because in this journey, I have experienced where divine has used people that I didn't even know to sow seed, and they would say, I don't even know why. Hello, everybody. Hello, babies. Hello. I don't know why, but I needed to do this for you. I don't know why I was just moved. See, don't you put a limitation on the divine flow in your life, because you want to decide what makes sense and how it should come to you. If divine told you to go, whatever it is that you're going to go through, even if you lose everything, oftentimes you do. Even if you lose everything, know that God, what am I to experience in this moment now? Sit and be still. Sit and be still and listen. Stop talking. Don't sit down and pray and blah, 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 blah. This is for you to be quiet and listen. What am I to experience in this moment now? Whatever your desire is, let it become strongly mine, and so shall my plans be established and succeed. Amen. And so it is. Amen. And so it is, baby. Do you understand me? Because as a pioneer, yes, you're going to be attacked. Come on, man. Target for sure. And you know why? Because you're that deal. Because you are absolutely that deal. And you will have a very high seat in this new era, in the new earth. You have a very huge calling and responsibility. You do. But I want you to know something. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. It won't work. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. It won't work. God will do what he said he will do. He'll stand by his word. He will come through. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. It won't work. It hasn't, and it won't. Low vibrational and dark energies and energy attachments. A lot of times, because of suppression, the suppression of truth, suppression of authenticity, the suppression of the reality. There has been this void and this separation between man and God. But we can't hear God freely for everything that we think God is intending for us. So we want to go validate because we haven't been used to just going it alone. We haven't been used to literally walking away. The choice and the point of life has been to those things. And baby, I've been at the top of the mountaintop. My first business was a multi-million-dollar business, and I lost it in the recession. And I've been homeless. I've slept in cars in my journey. And I had to stay 10 toes down. She must be crazy. She must have lost her damn mind. That's what the people said. That's what they say about you. You done must have lost your mind. God didn't tell you that. That's what they're telling me. But God did. I want you to stay in the vortex, that high vibration. I need you to stay in the vortex with divine. I want you to take that moment and time every day, whether it's 5 or 10 minutes. The guided meditations, I have them in the playlist on my page. I want you to stay in the vortex and allow yourself to listen to divine, not the voices in your head or around. I shouldn't say in your head. Well, at first I'm going to say, yeah, in your head. Because you got to follow your gut. I need you to follow that strongest feeling. And anytime you have a doubt about what a certain direction, I want you to ask God, whatever your desire is, let it be strongly my desire. And so shall my plans be established and succeed. Let it be strongly my desire, because I know how it is, baby. I know how it is to feel like which way, because you can't even think. You can't even think about anything. It seems clearly your mind, you can't even bring your mind to think rationally because you are going through so much. It seems like everything is coming at you. You've walked away from certain abusive scenarios. You've felt like you could hardly breathe anymore. You felt like you done cried all types of tears. The fast ones, the heavy ones, and the dry ones. You done been through it all. I've been through the storm too long. That's what you're feeling. Long, too long. Okay? That's how you're feeling. But divine has not left you, and you are set on this course to break a generational cycle. Your prayers have been answered, but there's so much that you have had to wrestle in this era that it's going to take time, because you are dealing with other vessels that have choices, i.e. human characters that have choices. You are. I've been through the storm too long. You have. But I need you to know there seems to be a lot. Some of you have been born into certain scenarios, and it seems like it's just had a hold on you. You keep finding yourself like in this revolving door of a cycle that you just cannot seem to break. You don't understand it. You think you say, I've done everything that I was supposed to do. I meditate, I pray, I go to church, I go to the mosque, I don't, whatever it is that you do. You've done everything. You've stood through the test of time. God, why? God, why? God, why? God, why? I hear you. That's the emotion that you're feeling. And your feelings are valid. I wrote this quote recently. Knowledge is power when a wise one applies it and stands on truth. Stand on your truth. Your truth is what you know it to be. And if you are remaining, if you have said, yes, I will follow and I will go as I am called to go, trust me, it's like a baby being in a mother's womb. You are so protected. Every move is protected. Whatever choice that you make, at times life offers you choices, knowing full well choice that you will make, but presenting to you the opportunity to experience life and all of its profound results. So never, ever, ever regret any choice that you've made, for in all cases, you have just become more knowledgeable of your true self, thereby giving yourself an opportunity of transformation and the product to inspire others to do the same. That's your truth. That's your truth. Stand on whatever divine is calling you to do. It doesn't matter what they're talking about. I don't think you care, though. You're just with questions. You're questioning the moves, because in my book, Pregnant in the Spirit, How to Birth a Life of True Purpose, in the second period in the process of spiritual pregnancy, it is to listen and follow instructions. So you're listening and following the instructions. And it's a journey of learning. It's a journey of learning. You're going to be learning in this process. So there are going to be some things that you're going to be guided to do that's not going to seem to make sense. But what I invite you to know is this. The wisdom is, don't draw conclusions on the conclusion of the direction that you are being guided into. Don't draw conclusions. Just go. because a lot of it, it's like this learning. The Spirit really wants me to give this example. The whirlwind, the person that's in this revolving door of events and circumstances that just don't, it just seems like it just won't let up. I want you to understand something. Sometimes you got to sit in a room and visually tear down the system that you were born into. Everything is energy. Divine said to me, and you'll read it in Convos with God, make it make sense, please, where Divine said to me, it's like a binary code. I'm the highest level of consciousness. I don't talk. I communicate to you like a binary code, and it translates into whatever language you speak. So as you're on this journey, as we've been on this journey, knowing that everything is energy, I want you to really adopt this powerful concept of deconstruction of the system in your life. I pictured a computer room. I'm a big IT girl, right? And all that. I love computers, okay? I pictured a system, a room that has the computer towers in it. And I saw in my mind all of the different chords, which I'm going to equate to energies that aligned with my bloodline and what I was born into and what I've connected with, my children and how they were connected, because energetically, through the energetic flow, I aligned with who I aligned with and who was divinely appointed for my soul's evolution, like it is for you. So I pictured, because I've started to see things, choices that I've made, that my children, I could see certain cycles continuing. Wait, hold on. You start to see things a little differently. Wait, hell no, that's not, what? Wait, hold on. Start paying attention. And then you look at your own life and you pay attention. You take an account for who you are, what you've allowed, and what you have held not or have held yourself accountable for. Now, I sat in that room in my mind and I said, So I let's say addiction, for starters, fear, anger, all these things. I started writing things down, things that I had found myself in certain situations where I was experiencing certain things on a continual basis. It seemed like every time I made a choice, I ended up in a room with the same type of energy, on accident, right? So there's something for you to learn in that room. Whatever I am to experience, what am I to experience in this moment now? Make it plain and clear so that you can take what it is that you need to learn and grow from it. So I was honest. I remember my children were 5 and 9. And I wrote down, because I had this, I said, wow, wait a minute. These are the things that run in my bloodline that I've noticed. And these are the things that run in your father's bloodline, because I've seen the consistency. And so now I've birthed children in this scenario, and what I see is that in the energetic consistency between the father and I were mirrored. They're mirrored. So I said to myself, in front of my children, I had a meeting with them. We have family meetings. And I set them at the table, and I told them what, I said, I need you to, it's like I wanted them to be prepared for this. But though, and I told them what to expect, and I always taught them the power of the mind. So in this process, as it was then, these like energies, I pictured at that table those cords that usually come out of the towers in the computer room as energies. And in my mind, I decided to cut it down. I command all of these energies to be destroyed. I cut the cord. And I tear down that tower, and I'm creating a new one for my bloodline forever to come. So that when there are new births, and for those who are already present on this side, I declare that this is going to be the experience. Divine said to me, you all made up love and anger. Why not love and courage? Anger is complete bipolar of love. In that regard, why not love and courage? Why not a bass guitar playing in tune instead of one that's playing out of tune? I'm just saying. It's our choice. And whatever you tear down, set a plan for what you are now assigning to what tower. What is your new tower? What does your new tower look like for your family? Understand that the challenges that we face, it's because it's been generations of circumstances that our souls have dealt with. Generations of it. Centuries of it. And so now we're like the cleanup crew. Like there were the freedom riders. We're the freedom riders for the soul. There was freedom riders for mankind. Let's all walk in love, right? Let's have peace. But there has to come a time where there is a necessary knowing. Not an idea, not a belief. Belief gives you the opportunity of wavering. Could be, maybe not. I don't know. Depends on what it is, right? But when you have a knowing, when there is a knowing, there is a declaration in you that you can put out towards your family, your bloodline. You can make life an intentional, eventful exploration. For the first 45 years of my life, all I knew was love. And love as I knew it. Because in 2017, as I cried before Divine standing in my kitchen, and I was crying and weeping, God, how can people be mean? Why do they keep being so disrespectful? In my personal life, I was a weakling, it seems. I was a sucker for love, as I understood it. The fluffy side, high up in the sky, like the clouds. But in business, quite different. But I had to come into that too, because I used to be a weakling there too. I cried, my first person I fired. I cried, and gave her a reference. Because I'm like, oh my God, why did you do this? Why did you make me, I have to fire you? Like, it was bad. So in 2017, I'm asking God, like, what the hell? Like, why? And God said to me, wah, wah, wah. That's what I heard. And I said, what? Why you do that? And I laughed. You sound like Charlie Brown. Why you say that? You think you're helping people by putting up with everything. You love them. You understand them. You forgive them. You forgot what they did, right? You did all that. You done had compassion. You done psychoanalyzed them. and they don't even speak your language. You sound like you're in France somewhere and they're in America. They're not on that level to understand you. So what I need you to do is to meet people where they are and keep the same love heart posture. Boom. Keep the same love heart posture. And I began to stand up for myself, and I would go into rooms. I remember going to this one particular Starbucks in Alpharetta where this young lady would just disrespect me like it was just her thing to do. Like, and this was right after what Divine had told me, and I'm like, okay, how you do that? I remember going to this particular Starbucks where she always, I can't do milk anymore, but she would put milk in my coffee and I would get sick. After the second time, I said, wait a minute. And she said, no, I kept telling me, no, I put half and half. And she would tell me she put half and half. I felt her energy, but see, just like you're empathic. So you want to argue what Divine is showing you in the spirit is like, well, no, this is that person. You're like, no way. They would never. They would just never, God. I know them better than that. And it's just like that. And just like that. All right? So I remember going to get my coffee this particular day, and she walks up. And I said, I want someone else to make my coffee, please. And I looked at her and I said, I don't know why you've treated me the way you've treated me. For no reason. I said, but I know that you've been lying to me because I know you've been putting milk in my coffee, and I've told you that it makes me sick. I know. And I looked at her, and as I began to talk to her, she shut her mouth because that was the truth. See, you got this like the phone fell on my mouth this morning and bust my lip. Somebody wants you to shut the hell up. They don't want you to tell your truth. They don't want you to speak out and walk and step into your power. It's that energy that you are beyond. So the Spirit said, I need you to meet people where they are and keep the same love heart posture. Choose you. Choose you. Choose you. Walk away from the indiscretions that have been very clear in your life. And you have felt it, you've known it. You may not want to accept it, but it is deeper than that. I wrote something years ago. Most people have lived life as if they have savored a walnut and they've never cracked the shell. You haven't even gotten down to the core of the truth. I need you to understand that now we are living life intentionally. There's a lot of confusion in the world. There's a lot going on. There are people that are having questions about certain things. I was watching the Diary of the CEO. And I was listening to all of the different ideas of transformation and the ideas of what we need and these economics and economic socialists and all of these people who have these really wild ideas of what it's going to mean for us to step into our true happiness. And you're dealing with your own situation. But it's a good situation because it is necessary. Many people will lose everything because there's a pulling away. You have to come out of what you've been accustomed to. And it's like you say you love the energy, you say you love God, but the idea has been taught in a way that we are required to just think that the way was already paid. We don't have to do anything because that was already done. And I'm just going to will out of it. I'm just going to think in a higher vortex of my life, and all of these other things. The process of what I need to go through to change is somehow destroyed, and you don't have to do that anymore. And that's not the case. That's not true evolution. That is not true evolution. In order for you to evolve, there is a death. There is the wall of Jericho that will be that falls in your life. There is a breaking away. There is a disruption that comes as you are born out of dust, if you would, but in the spirit realm and not in a religious way. In order for you to evolve, you must die. It's required. It's the name of the game. The game of life was meant to be fun. But because there's been so much indoctrination and things that we have been subjected to in terms of suppression, things that have caused for there to be such an idea of fear to be yourself, fear to stand up, keeping up appearances, the idea that you've got to chase the almighty dollar. So gosh, Lord have mercy if you don't have that dollar. If you don't have that dollar, then you must be out of the loop. When that is the loop. For many of you, your true happiness is going to come as you come into the fulfillment and in alignment with your soul's true purpose, because you are the soul. Me, myself, and I, son of God, and that's what I found out. And the me is the soul. Me, soul. The I is divine. Self is this flesh. Be careful how you entertain strangers, for you may be self unaware. The soul is always clear. Your happiness, and this so you know, for the happiness, for your life's true purpose. God, whatever your desire is regarding my life, let it become strongly my desire, and so shall my plans be established and succeed. Amen. And so it is. I wrote that prayer, oh God, some years ago, 2000, what was it? 2006. At a time when I was in my personal pandemic, during the recession, when everything had fallen down around me and I was losing everything as I was being taken on the process that was going to take me to the higher level. I had to come up off that mountaintop. I had to go through the valley of the shadow of death. I had to go through it. And then after I went through that and come up to the top, let me tell you, but then there are other things that it's like this, the cycle of taking everything off as you rise fully into your power. Where you're intentionally making these choices to move into other realms. You're not going to be the same. You are not going to be the same because you chose the path. Somebody has to quit a job. And you don't know how does this make any sense? Because God didn't tell you that, right? I am telling you, that's the divine route for you. Some of you guys say, well, I have children, so that doesn't even matter. I gotta provide, but what you don't understand, that the children that you have are also souls. And your soul has been on a mission for centuries. for the most of you. Your soul has been coming back in different timelines, experiencing different things. Some of you are goddesses return or gods return that were back in the old. Some of you have fought wars, have even made a choice before you came on this realm on any lifetime, and you were a part of the beginning. And as you come through this process, your soul is yearning to be able to flow and to continue so that it can fulfill and move forward in the mission. That's how you're going to find the true happiness. It's not going to come anywhere else. Happy soul, happy life. Have you ever seen people out in the street? You're like, how the heck they smile? Wherever your soul desires, allow for it to flow. It needs you. It chose you to align with it. It needs you to continue its mission and divine flow. Pure souls. Because we haven't known, we have created so many other entity energies. We are so powerful. We are so powerful. So our mind, we have created with our mind through pain and anger and hurt and confusion. Entities and entities that divine said to me, and it's talked about in Convos with God, make it make sense, please, that you all have not known who you were. And as a result, you've created more than just flesh and blood. You've created entity energies that have the same power and ability to speak to you like I do. Because again, God doesn't talk. God says, I vibrate. It's like a binary code. And it translates to you into whatever language you speak. So I don't talk. It is a vibration. It is a frequency, which is why divine said to me, because they don't even understand you. They're not even on your language. Y'all may both be in America, but they don't speak your language. You way up here, up in the clouds, being who you truly are. And they don't even understand. And how about this? They don't understand, and also, spiritually, they are clueless. Spiritually, they are clueless of who they truly are, of the mission of their soul, as we mostly, all of us have been very clueless of the mission of the soul. And as a result, we have created entity energies that have not been for our good. So when we talk about being soulless or someone being soulless, someone having a lost soul is a wounded soul. The soul has never lost itself. We lose the soul. We lose the soul. I don't know what this is. We're not even going to pay attention to it. Matter of fact, we lose the soul. The soul gets caught up and lost in the sauce of us, of the choices that we've made. That's what the soul gets lost in that. So as we are going around and around and around and trying to find and discover, it is simple as this prayer for your life's true purpose. Whatever your desire is, God, let it become strongly my desire. And so shall my plans be established and succeed. Amen. And so it is. Can we get amen? And that's that. I don't know how. Hold on. I don't know what this is. We're going to give me 1 minute. Yeah. No negative I don't know what that is. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay, so what are we talking about? So at first I was going to ignore, but no, we're going to deal with that. We're going to just move because I don't know what that was. I don't know. So I just want you to know that you're in the right space. You're right where divine wants you to be. And as you go into this phase, the listening and following instructions oh my gosh, it's a lot. So there will come times for you to like really question, like, did I do this? Am I hearing you? I want you to, that's why it's important to meditate. Consider it a date with divine. Like, I'm going to have a date. I'm going to go on my date. We're going to have tea and crumpets, right? But you're going to have meditation time. And you're going to silence your mind. I always invite you guys to Boho Beautiful Meditation. Boho Beautiful Meditation, I really love them. And I also have them on a playlist, on the playlist for us. My God, whatever it is, let it be strongly my desire, and so shall my plans be established and succeed. And it's going to become the strongest desire inside of you. And I want you to then move forward knowing that you are protected. Because you're doing what you need to do as an energy. You're spending the time with divine. You're staying in that vortex. Trust me, that is the only way that you can really acquire that confidence, that peace, so that you can get the clarity when you take one moment at a time, one day at a time. Don't try to look about the whole thing. Divine has told somebody to be a teacher, and you're thinking to yourself, how am I going to be a teacher? I didn't even go to school for that. So how am I going to be a teacher? See, on this divine course, you could be all kind of things that didn't go anywhere. I remember before I went back to school to get my doctorate, and I had to do the whole thing, the bachelor's, master's, and the doctorate. I wasn't trying to do that at all. As far as I was concerned, I was proud of being supernaturally certified. I had been to school before. First, I was going to school for computer science engineering. Then it was management information systems. Then it was just, the business took off and it was no need. And I just really adapted this system of, God, how do I do it? Spirit say, you teach me all things. All right, let's go. Let's go. That's what you step into it, to that realm. And before I knew it, I was a celebrity journalist. I was a radio, TV personality, radio personality. I never went to school for none of that. Quality control, controller in engineering. For Ford Motor Company, I was a project manager in engineering. I didn't go to school for it. That's called being guided. When I went to go for the job, I was 19 years old. First time I did that, I was following the divine, what divine said. I got into the corporate office. God told me who to ask for and placed them with me. And I went into the office and they asked me, they said, how did you get in here? We haven't even posted that job. But see, divine guided me there. That's the type of guidance that you are being, the course you've been taken on, the road less traveled. You've just left a whole period that I described in the first period, which the objective is to let go. It's you've just gone through the shedding. And it's parallel to natural pregnancy. As in natural pregnancy, what happens in that first period? The first period, we go through, some of us go through hyperemesis, morning sickness where you're regurgitating. So in that first period, you were shedding. It was purging and getting you adjusted to the spiritual process. And it didn't feel good. Times you felt like you were going to lose your mind. You've gone through depression. You've gone through great loss. You've gone through all of that. So it just has not felt good. But I just want you to know, you're right where you're supposed to be. So now you're in this space. You really want to know, what is my life's true purpose? What am I here for, literally, God? The peace is going to come with you focusing right on you, baby. Not everybody else around you. I don't get off the news if you can't take it. If it's ruffling and turning you off tilt, turn the news off. You may have to pull back from social media. If you're feeding yourself all drama and all of that and transferring it and passing it along, then come on now. It's contradicting the flow that is required for you to make it through this. If you wake up in the morning and pick up your phone and then now you're on the drama that you were on yesterday, how do you, come on now. The journey is already not necessarily easy enough, but if you are in the vortex like that, let me tell you what happens. You don't feel it like others may feel it or may see it. Yes, it may be difficult, but it feels good. It feels good. It's one thing to be on a road and you know that you're going in the right direction to get to your destination, and you know that you are fulfilled because you know you were going where you were supposed to go, versus someone who is on the road in La La Land with your Maybach seats and your roof back, and you get there and you find out that you were never supposed to be there. You weren't even on the right road. But you've just traveled for hours in the wrong direction. And there is a specific direction. And your direction is not somebody else's direction. Your soul's path is not somebody else's soul's path. Even when it comes to your children, the soul chose you. Their souls chose you because it needs to go through something so that it can continue to move on. Let me picture this. Picture the forest and the trees with all the different plants and things. Because we are identical to this in terms of the flow, energetically. If you look in the forest, no one person came and literally planted all of the trees and all of the flowers and things that you see. They didn't. They came about as a result of a dynamic, energetic flow. And it was created. We come in, look at it, discover it, and destroy it. That's what we do. But that's the flow. And as we are who we are a part of a divine flow. But I am telling you, not everybody that you look at literally carries a divine soul. We're not going to get into that today. We're going to take the class. You're going to learn really and discover the truth of you and the soul, your soul's genealogy. What has your soul gone through? Because the things that your soul has gone through and those that have carried your soul in past lives, those individuals, they have something they've gone through, and there's a reason that you are experiencing what you're experiencing. It's a reason that you're in the type of family that you're in. There's a specific reason why you're in that family. It's not an accident. But you are more connected to the soul's genealogy than you are the DNA. The soul, the DNA is as a result of the soul's genealogy. That's how that went. The soul is the point. In Goal of the Soul, we talk about that. I should say I'm talking about Divine and I. Talk about the goal of the soul and what it's all about. Why should you even care? Because it is about them. It is about them. It's an entity. This flesh is an entity energy. That's why it's so important when you come into the discovery of your true purpose, why there is such a peace and a clarity. God, if I don't know you, show me you. Don't let people just tell you, no, that's not what God. Stop talking to people. Stop trying to get validation from other people as it relates to who God is and what God is telling you and how divine is moving in your life. Let that go. This is a personal run. It's not a community event. You don't need to go and validate with somebody else. If you would just allow and get the limitations off of the flow and allow for divine to come in and commune with you, and it's simple. It's without fear. It's without hatred. It's without suppression. It's without this idea that you must suppress your truth and who you truly are because of what somebody said. You literally need to go with the flow. Some of you have been called to stay in a relationship which what everybody says is too long because you're a generational curse breaker. And that's what you're supposed to be doing. Some of you are people's karma. Some of you are people's dharma. When you can trust energy. When you know that you are taking that time and you are putting divine first every day, you're getting up and you're communing. And then when you get, I'm going to invite you to this process. When you get out of it, out of that morning or night or whatever meditation, I want you to get a book and I want you to write down, God, what am I to do today? What am I to do today? And you write it down. And whatever comes to your mind, you write it down. Don't bind yourself to it like, oh my God, if I don't complete items 1 through 5, I'm screwed. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. No, it's not that. Make your plan and be willing to flow. Make your plan and be willing to flow. So the divine knows you. Some of you God already know you're not going to do it today, right? It's already clear, and it's all good. Knows you're not going to do it, but it puts it right there out in the universe. So you know already and consciously this is something that I'm going to be working on. Divine would you may have a list of things to do. See, in this particular journey that you're on, and you're in the second period, I feel like many of the collective, you're in the second period of listening and following instructions. And as you are listening and following instructions, I hope you guys can still hear me. Yeah. Oh, you are so welcome. Listening, Ashe. Oh, I love you. Love all of you. Listening and following instructions. It's not an easy. It's like you're going to have these trial runs. And I remember the first time I was supposed to go on tour to London. Divine told everything was working out. I packed. I had faith. I was moving forward in faith. And I mean, this faith was so strong. I'm telling you. No one could tell me that I wasn't supposed to be there in that time. No one could tell me. And so I packed and I went to the airport. And I had an itinerary ticket. And I had so much faith. I said, I guess this ticket is going to come to life because everything that I thought was supposed to happen at that time, it didn't happen financially. It didn't happen financially for me at that time. But oh my God, I go there. I was there early, 6 o'clock in the morning. I go up, I think it's 6:30, and I give them my itinerary because I had faith. I had packed. I since a little girl, I knew I didn't know what my calling was going to be, but I had this idea that when I went to London, that everything had happened. That the whole everything was going to be working out for the good, and I had made it. And at this event, it was an event that we were hosting, and I was going to be on stage, and people were registered, and I couldn't get there. And I thought I'm like, what in the world did I do? Am I crazy for following this way? Why? I could have sworn God told me that. I could have sworn. That's why you are not to draw conclusions on the conclusion. Just go. Don't put too much on the expectational aspect of your direction. Get in the seat of the flow and flow with it, and not be so concerned about that. So I said, wow, I cannot believe this. You mean to tell me that when they said that my ticket wasn't good, I'm like, something's wrong with you. See, I had crazy faith. Long and short of it, I didn't go that time. And that's where that quote, at times life offers you choices, knowing full well the choice that you will make, but presenting to you the opportunity to experience life in all of its profound results. So never, ever regret any choice that you make. But in all cases, realize that you have just been given the opportunity of transformation and the product to inspire others to do the same. A year later, I had traveled within the United States quite a bit that year. But a year later, I was literally going this time. And as I'm going this time, first of all, I had met somebody. Ooh, thank you, Holy Spirit. I had met somebody the first time. I remember sitting in the airport after being in there almost 2 days, going back and forth with the UK host and myself, and realizing that I wasn't going to be going. I sit right there in that airport. The whole floor had been cleared out. And I said, God, you got to send me an angel. I felt like I couldn't go back home to face my children because we had already been in the journey. I had lost the home that I built for us. I was in a home, beautiful home in Bloomfield Hills at the time, and moved from Island Lake. But it wasn't the same as it was before. And I told my children, this is it. Because I had been following the divine. I had been doing everything that divine asked me to do. That's you. You've done everything that God has asked you to do. So now when it doesn't look how you thought that it was going to look, you're questioning the guidance. Don't. Let this be as a testimony to you. I was concerned about how it would appear. But that on that day that I couldn't make it, there was a volcano that erupted, and it shut down airports everywhere. And there were no casualties. But as a result of that obstruction, it left my slate clean. See, God, you gonna come out shining like new money. Don't worry about it. And don't worry about what anybody thinks. Because, yeah, you will be talked about, mystery. Yeah, all that. All that. You the boss. Okay? So I sat there and I asked God, please send me an angel. And there was this porter that I had seen several times when I was there throughout those 2 days. Because it was like a day, almost 2 days. And I sat there because I had to give up. I had to walk away. I got to go now. But I had lost everything. I had lost everything. And he peeks his head around the corner and he says, hello. I'm thinking, what the? God, I said an angel. I don't have time for this. And divine had that angel in my life at that time when nobody would answer the phone. Nobody would do, wow, Lord. Just told me to tell the whole story. Okay, nobody would answer the phones. I couldn't reach anybody. And we were doing a transformation tour, a seminar at a hotel in the UK. And I sit there, and Divine asked me, oh, I got to tell the story. Wow, this is something. Okay, so so the way it went was, within that 2 days, this gentleman, I remembered him. He was a porter, but I remembered him because he was checking me out. And it was an interesting presentation because he looked Indian to me. And I've never known an Indian, a full-blooded, from India, check out me like that. I didn't think that was their speed. But this guy looked like that. So I remember when this person came and looked at me, and he sat by me. He said, "Are you okay?" He said, "They're going to put you out of here." And I remember I said to him, because I was annoyed. Who in the heck? I don't have time for this. And no flirting or anything like that. So I looked at him and I said, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, Are you Indian?" Because I just had to ask that question. And he said, "No." He said, "I'm blacker than you. I'm Ethiopian." And he said, "Do you want me to take you somewhere or take you, we can go to dinner?" And I'm like, no. And the Spirit told me yes. Told me to go. Stranger. So I had no other way to leave. Divine sent this ram in the bush. We went to dinner. We're sitting at the table and we're talking. I'm telling him my story, and I'm telling him, I said, yeah, I didn't want to go home because I'm probably going to go somewhere else, like my family or something, because I don't want to go home because I don't want to disappoint my children because they think I'm in London, and I don't want to disappoint them. Because even though we were in a beautiful spot, it wasn't the same as we had before. As I went through this situation and I'm sitting there, he said, "Don't worry, Boom, don't worry. You can come to my place." I will tell you, don't do this at home, okay? If you are not guided, don't do this at home. But this is to let you know that there will be times that you will be guided to do the strangest things. But you must know that you are protected, and don't think you got to share everything with somebody about what God is showing and guiding you to do. That's not how this goes. So I sit there, and I did. So he said, I have to go to school in the morning, and then we're going to church on Sunday if you wanted to stay for a couple days and to hide out. I'm like, okay. And that's that morning, because they live near the airport. So that morning, when I woke up, that's when I wrote that quote. At times, life offers you choices, knowing full well the choices you were making. And I woke up, I actually said, well, I'm alive, okay? Because I didn't know this person. So we get up, we're on our way to his school, and I figured I'll just keep working because I had a lot to do anyways, and I'll be on my computer. And I was still trying to get to the UK. We were still trying to figure some things out. Is the volcano still in a situation? What's the situation? And then I had to let it go. See, there's going to be some times you're going to have to just let it go. When you done tried all you done tried, you visioned how you visioned, and you got to let it go. Doesn't mean that it wasn't God guiding you there. That doesn't mean that. It just means that it's time for you to let it go. So that happened, and we're on our way, and he stops at the bank. He stops at the bank, he comes out, and he gives me an envelope, and it had $500. I'm like, whoa, this is not that. I didn't feel fear or anything. Very nice and kind gentleman. He said, no, for being my friend. Just want to give this to you. And when you're in a journey, there will be gifts. There will be opportunities for people to give and to give into your bosom. Don't allow for what is normal deter you from the will. Stop trying to go around and seek validation to everybody, because you don't know where your blessing coming from. You really don't. You don't know who divine has on your path, on your journey, to sow seed into your life. I ended up having more than what I would have come back with, actually, after we had paid for everything for the event. So the next year, look how this movie turns out, because the next year, when I'm really going, after I had traveled all the year, I had not seen him anymore. And I'm going down. Listen, now look at the irony of this. I am going down the hall, right at the hall of my gate. Listen to me. At my gate, I'm seeing him walking towards me. We're walking, meeting up to each other. He's like, oh my God, because he had told me that year. He said, don't worry. He said, you're going to go. You're going to go. I said, okay, I know I was called to do it. I know I was so disappointed I didn't go the last year. But at that gate, the same person, and we sat at my gate, and he said, I told you you would go. And I haven't seen him since that day. See, what you must understand is that, first of all, when you go into that divine flow, baby, it doesn't look like what is normal. It doesn't feel normal, because it's not. It's not normal. It's different. It's very different. It's profound. It's unique. And you have to be willing to flow. So you trying to talk to people who are talking you out of the flow, let it go. Let it go. Let that idea and concept go. That's not how you're going to make it to where your soul needs you to flow. How your soul needs you to flow in this lifetime. So yeah, you were called to leave it. You were called to walk away. And congratulations, because you did it. Don't doubt that. Now it's really for you to get into the seat of it and allow for the divine epic flow to flow through you. Continue to be intentional. God, whatever your desire is, regarding my life, let it become strongly my desire. God, whatever your desire is regarding this situation, let it become strongly my desire. And so shall my plans be established. And so it is. Amen. And so it is. I love you guys. Spirit told me, let's pull a number card. You guys are so amazing. I didn't even have my music playing. I was supposed to have my little music playing in the background. I didn't even do that. You know why? Because Divine was flowing. Divine was so on me this morning, like just hit the button. Right? On this morning, I need you to hit the button. I don't need you to do your hair, your wig, or whatever it is. I need you to just hit the button. Hit live and let me talk. Right? I done got up, got my lip. Look at that. That's okay. That's what happened. Views and a view. I've been through the storm too long. Hey! Long, too long. Oh, 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 oh. Hear me. Hey, hey, hey. To y'all know nothing about that. See, I was raised in the church. Yeah. Say good luck, baby. Somebody say it's not good luck, it's a blessing. Look up the definition of luck, okay? Y'all worry about the wrong thing. Get in the game. Some of y'all sitting on the sideline and don't even have jerseys on. Some of y'all not even on the sideline, on the playing field. Okay, get in the game. Don't worry about all that. Don't worry about that. It says, hold on to your vision. Hold on to your vision. And that's good luck. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the balance. All right? Y'all better stop playing with me before I start clowning. Spirit guides progress, justice. Justice is being served. It says structure, systems, processes, discipline, and rules. You are on the right track. That's not what we've been talking about. You are on the right track. Spiritual guides are supporting and encouraging you to give your best effort. Success is within your reach. Stay observant of your surroundings and communicate clearly. Trust that everything will fall into place as it should. Look at that divine flow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then hold on to your vision. And look at that. 15 likes, and it's what? 1551. Come on now. Manifestation, abundance, and abundance. Come on now. I want you to subscribe. If you have not subscribed, join the ICBG family. Okay, I love you guys. You are always in my prayers. I vision the best. I ask for divine to show me, give me a word for the collective. It says manifestation, abundance, prosperity, dreams, vision, and success. Listen, let me tell you. Abundance is relative to your soul's journey. All right? So I don't give a dang on who got what going on as far as making money and doing this and that. Okay? I don't care how good it sounds. I don't care how good somebody else, it looks on somebody else, a certain type of thing. If divine has not called you there, that leaves your soul restless. Your soul is crying out. I just got chills. Don't try to follow what somebody else doing. Don't try to make sense of your life based on somebody else's life. Your soul has its own mission. I don't give a dang on what your family doing, what your friends doing, what your teacher said. What did divine say? Some of you are in unions that you are not supposed to be in. I'm going to leave that alone because that's not for today. Now is the time to invest your faith and energy into your ideas, pursuing your goals with all your strength. Your spirit is brave. Embrace it as you work towards your dreams. You feel me? You feel me? I don't know why I keep hearing that. Been through the storm too long. Hey, yeah. Because some of you have. I love you guys so much. Hallelujah. That's right. Hallelujah is it. Endless cycles. You're moving up out of being redundant about things that are not for you. You're moving out of the circles and realms where you have not been respected, where you are not highly thought of. You're moving out of that. You're choosing you finally. That's what's happening. Charisma, communication, society, movement, journey, repetitive patterns, and transformation. You may find yourself repeatedly resisting certain truths, leading to feelings of exhaustion and limitation. It's time to decide to live authentically for yourself. Did we not just say that? Is that not the beautiful note? By making this change, the world around you will begin to follow suit, breaking the cycle and fostering transformation. Amen, amen, and amen, and amen. I love it. I love it. Look at that. 5, 5, 23, 23, 15, 51. Right? That's actually 66. And this is 55. And the Spirit said one more. Look, lighten up. Stay high vibing, baby. Stay high vibing. Good vibes, balance, respect, family, optimism. Focus on your needs. Focus on your needs. What do you need? That part. A light-hearted approach makes everything more accessible. New opportunities, a fresh friendship, or even an addition to your family are on the horizon, and positive energy will accelerate the flow of blessings coming your way. And the Spirit say, that is it. I choose to be guided. Yes, 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 yes. Take a minute. Reevaluate. Yeah. Personal powers. Call back your power. Blessed and transmuted. Yes, you're getting ready to make new choices. I'm so happy for you. Don't forget to subscribe and like. I will be back. I'll be back. Probably sometime today. I don't know. Yeah. Look at that. A real good. Yep, you done been through the fire. Blood, sweat, and tears. Literally. But you know what? You're moving and grooving how you are being guided. And you know what? As a result of your guidance, divine is taking care of you. Trust me. Don't draw conclusions on the conclusion. Allow yourself to flow. Don't draw conclusions on the conclusion. Yeah. Just flow. Some of you, divine may say, divine may tell you to, you have a whole shop list of things to do, and divine wants you to go to the spa. And you may think that sounds crazy. However, look at that, growth and abundance. I was just playing around, but growth and abundance. Yeah. However, I accept the challenges are the best way to learn. Understand that. You're going to go through some things, right? But I want you to picture, what do we picture? The bulletproof vest. The bulletproof vest that you may have been knocked a little bit off your squares, a little rocky, a little this, a little that. Yeah. Down but not up. In that space where you're down and out and not out, in that space where it's not what you thought it was gonna be. Did you hear the end of the story about my London thing? Now I ended up going to London. It was absolutely amazing. It was beautiful. It couldn't have been better. That tour was so amazing. So much transformation ignited. The executive director of the Diaspora came in, who's affiliated also with Nigeria and also the UK. as a part of my organization, Bountiful Opportunities Group. And we met, we talked through circumstances and things that would help transform youth and communities around the world. It took place. And before I went into that space, I ran into a familiar face from before. At that time when I was in a space, but that didn't feel good. I had all kind of questions. Number one, questioning God. Like, what? I know good and dang on well you didn't bring me here for this. Like, I know I didn't just do all of that to get here for this. Huh? Somebody believed. You believed. You trusted. You've been trusting. And you're questioning because you don't feel like you are in the room that you need to be in, but I need you to experience that room. I need you to experience that room. I need you to know that that's the room. That's the room that is intended for you to grow, baby. It's that room right there. That part right there. Don't go now. Just because something is uncomfortable doesn't mean that you just fly up out of it. For some of you, for all of you, understand that. Don't move on the emotion. Allow for the divine to flow. Don't get all caught up in your emotion, because the challenge, the mission, the intention for us is to rise above the fleshly desires, the emotions and will of the flesh. Not on a religious aspect, but 5:15. What is that? So we just pulled that. Stop blaming yourself. You didn't go the wrong way. You didn't go the wrong way. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. And whoever is blaming you, don't pay attention to that. You know who you are, and stand true to that. You know exactly who you are. So don't worry about what somebody else is saying about you. Sit in that room so you can get what you got to get, so you don't have to come back. It's time for you got to sit there for a minute. Allow, when divine moves you out, go ahead, it's going to flow. And I want you to start saying that. Like say, you know what? When the thought comes that there's friction, you know what? It's so wonderful. Like, I feel so great. This experience is really going to go so smoothly, and I'm going to walk in the room and everything's good. And sometimes the divine wants you to handle certain situations, that you're put in certain situations so that you can actually grow and gain some umph. It's for you to just stop being a wuss. Stand up for yourself. Sometimes it's like that. So yeah, you may go through that adversity. But adversity doesn't mean it's not a curse. It's not a bad word. Or what we think is curse words. I love you guys. This has been, I'm so glad we had this time together. And I hope that you can sing along. I want you guys, I'm so excited because we are working on our new websites, and everything is coming together so well. I'm very, very, very excited for what we are going to have as a collective. The classes, workshops, some free seminars. We're going to start some memberships, and that way you'll be able to come in, and there will be free seminars. There'll be discounts on classes. etc. And you'll be able to click the button and get whatever you need, the merchandise and everything. I am so super excited for what Divine is doing and what I've gone through blood, sweat, and tears for. Because I said, man, that thing just hit me in the mouth. My phone, big old phone, hit me in the mouth. I did it. Just look. Interesting. So listen, I love you guys. I'm so excited. I am so excited for you. I'm so excited for you. I love 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 you. I do. More than you ever know. Hey, hey. It's for sure. And you can always count on my love forevermore. What is it? Baby, when we're together, say I'm all right. If you're all right, it's like paradise. And wait a minute, hold on. Just want you to know I really need you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for my new subscribers. I love you. We have so much coming up. So much. Oh my gosh. Whew. Listen, guys, I'm a witness. The Hermit 2024. I'm a witness. I'm a witness. One last thing. You are not on anybody else's time. You're on divine time. That means stop comparing yourself and your journey to everybody else online. Giving yourself anxiety. Causing you to move ahead of God. And that's something for the last word. Causing you to get off task and out of the seat of the flow. Because you're looking at what somebody else is doing and how they're doing it and how quickly they're doing it. Stay focused. I love you. Stay focused. I love you. I love you. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.